It's the NFL on EA Sports, where we'll see two of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises. It's the New York Giants and the Washington Commanders. Coming up next.
Head out about 10 miles or so from the Capitol Mall, and you will arrive here at Northwest Stadium, just outside of Washington, D.C. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Here's the former Utah Ute, Matt Gay, to get this one started. And we are underway from Commanders Field. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
Quickly to the air is Wilson. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
Anytime a ball is thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. He'll get that to his tight end, Theo Johnson. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Still first down.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Now Wilson. A throw right side caught by Neighbors. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. From the 46-yard line, a 2nd down and 6. Open target here, Darius Slayton. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So that as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football, all right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Throwing now is Daniels. Flush to his right. Broken tackle. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
From the 29, here's 2nd and 3. First carry of the game for Brian Robinson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Here's Daniels. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Now Daniels. Shakes off the sack. Steps away to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 46. To the air goes Daniels. Open man is Noah Brown. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Working out of the gun, Daniels. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. To throw is Daniels. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt. 3-yard return, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. They'll start with a run by Tracy. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
To throw is Wilson. There's a short one caught by Johnson. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Here's Wilson to throw. As this complete to Daniel Bellinger. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the 2nd quarter. Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 4. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Play action. It's Wilson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Javon Kinlaw busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fake.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Commanders will take over, but backed up deep in their own territory. Daniels looking to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Yeah, that's a good start to drive number 2. Remember, they had to punt the first time they had it. So maybe a little bit different sense of purpose here, and they start out with a nice gain and a quick first down.
They go play action. Daniels. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Bobby Okereke running in and bringing him down. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
But we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted.
And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
New York set to take the field. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Wilson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time.
Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
The job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Straight ahead, here's Tracy.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Well, a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17.
Throwing is Wilson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
You know, in boxing, they throw in the towel. In this case, you just kind of wave the white flag, and you think to yourself, if he could just get past that initial wave, he's got a chance to get free. But that screen, it was going nowhere from the start. It forces a 4th down.
On to punt, Jamie Gillen. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
But not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Back to throw. Daniels. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 17 more yards. They had 17 on the previous snap as well.
And now at this point in the first half, you've got to realize as an offense, you're not going to get it all back in one fell swoop. This is going to be about sustained drives and making sure you finish with points. And that's a good throw there for a first down.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. Two minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. And New York set to take the field. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
And his throw here's incomplete.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
2nd and 10.
Wilson. And he'll go down in the end zone. Down goes Wilson. It's a safety.
Normally we think about big swings and scores before a half. We think offense, but this time their defense made the play. Instant pressure off the snap, and they weren't going to let him find a way to escape.
So kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. This is taken at the 15.
The Washington offense set to take over again.
And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football.
A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10.
At the 45. Throwing to start the drive. Daniels. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
Second and 6.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
That one a first down pickup of 8.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Daniels. He shakes him off. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Gay knocks this one through.
So when you factor in the safety, this now a 5-point swing.
And look, I'm not going to turn away a 5-point swing because 5 points, that's valuable. Don't get me wrong on this. But if they could have taken that safety and added 7 to it, now you're talking about a really big swing.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. Now this thrown deep for Slayton.
And this one is incomplete.
So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Commanders on top.
As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
They started on the ground with Eckler. He finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
Nice chunky yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's a second down and 6. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
3rd and 5. Back to throw. Daniels. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This is a nice job of just taking what the defense is going to give you on 3rd down. You're not looking for a big play downfield. You just want to find something that can get you past the marker. They found it and were able to keep the drive moving.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. This to McLaurin out on the left side. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be second down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 38-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
This is 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Daniels. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Brian Burns flying in there and dropping it for the sack.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks. Pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That's into the hands of Eckler. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And they'll be unable to build here onto their 5-point lead.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, It's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's first down from the 42. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Delay of game, offense.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Still second down.
Here's Wilson. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10.
Down at the 33. Wilson.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner.
And the Commanders are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. And that could turn out to be a giant play, Charles. You got an offense driving to take the lead, but they're turned away on the INT.
And I think that we might look back on this in the fourth quarter and say, that was the play of the game.
So out comes Washington's offense to take over.
Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10.
To the air goes Daniels. Out route looking for McLaurin. He's got him.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
Robinson up the middle. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
Defensively, they were in the 3-4. Solid run up the middle. What made it successful?
Well, what you have to do is control the nose guard, but sometimes you don't do it by blocking him. You do it by influencing him. Get him moving to one side or the other and hit him back on the opposite.
Here's Daniels.
Got him in. It's Brown. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Daniels.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it.
And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here.
And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Motioning to the left is Robinson. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. This one to Slayton over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Commanders Field. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. Tracy going to get it on first down. It's a solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Dorrance Armstrong in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now Wilson. That's complete. It's Neighbors. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Now Wilson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the first.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a first down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
Well, just kicking a field goal there, that's a decision that could be open to second guessing. You know, you're trying to get back within a field goal, but it didn't work out as planned.
And now you're banking on your defense to be motivated enough to get out there and get the ball back for you. I think if that ball goes through the post, the defense is naturally motivated, even elevated in their mission. Now they've got to find a way to dig down deep and get it done.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And a lane slow materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Now that's a play to applaud because these RPOs, things happen so quickly. And that ball's out of the quarterback's hands fast. He read it and reacted and was there to hit him as the ball arrived at the receiver. Big-time read, big-time play.
Working out of the gun, Daniels.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. The offense on third down, they've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 10.
Throwing now is Daniels.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Now that's a killer because you think you've got it absolutely covered, and then he hot-foots it out of there and picks up a first down. Drives you crazy as a defense.
Looks like you're exactly right. Looked like a for-sure stop on third, and then the tables turned.
To throw is Daniels.
And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
It's getting cold in here, partner, because it looks like he's trying to ice this one away. Yeah, I know, bad dad joke, but what the heck, right? Scrambling for that first after the D blanketed his receivers, that's a backbreaker for the defense. They finished this drive off with 6, and this one could be over.
Robinson's got it. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. On to give, here's Robinson.
And he'll find his way down right around the 12. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Daniels looking to throw. That is caught. Touchdown! Deebo Samuel.
A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Commanders will add to their 4th quarter lead. What a huge touchdown that was, obviously, here in the late stages of the 4th quarter as they try to put this one away.
And, Brandon, when they watch the film after this week, they'll be very proud of every rep if they close this game out. Just a few snaps remaining. They can't relax just yet.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told.
And it's Deebo Samuel who caps things with a touchdown reception.
after the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. Here's 1st and 10.
Here's Wilson.
Pass complete to Robinson.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
A 2 timeouts still remaining, but scoring quickly, a must. It's 1st and 10.
Throwing is Wilson. Now they go screen. It's complete. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them. Go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
Now it's Wilson. And the screen unsuccessfully dropped it.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
Well, this crowd trying to force a false start here. 3rd and inches. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to move the sticks with a gain of 4 on 3rd and inches.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
That's caught by Johnson.
Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter.
Well, they need to score, and score quick. 1 timeout remaining. Final minute, 1st and 10. Again, it's Johnson.
The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Here's 1st and goal.
To throw is Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Now 2nd down and a few inches.
To throw again is Wilson.
He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
And now defensively in the 2-minute drill, the big key to me, make sure you understand your assignments, and anytime you get a chance to tackle someone inbounds, get them on the ground.
This crowd doing all they can. Here's 3rd and goal.
Here's Wilson to throw. Escaping the pressure. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Gano the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. So still a chance with just over 20 seconds to go, but they need to get this one back, no doubt. And this will be recovered by Washington, and that should just about do it. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
The Commanders' offense and Jaden Daniels getting set for this next possession. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. Washington about to close this one out as they are down to a knee. So a victory here for the Commanders. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the one touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Commanders pick up the victory as we say so long from our nation's capital.